Wait, before you scroll, before you skip, before you decide this isn't for you, I need you to do something for me, right now. Put your hand on your chest. Feel that? That heartbeat, that breath, that quiet hum of life inside you. Now ask yourself honestly, when was the last time you felt completely like yourself? When was the last time you woke up and nothing felt heavy? When was the last time your mind was truly quiet? If you're struggling to remember, this message is for you. Because what you've been feeling lately, the exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, the emotions that hit you out of nowhere, the restlessness, the sensitivity, the sense that something inside you is rearranging itself, that is not a breakdown. That is a breakthrough that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. And if you leave before the end of this message, you may misread the most important season of your entire life. Stay with me. Something has changed inside you recently. You know it. You feel it every morning when you open your eyes. You feel it in the middle of conversations when you suddenly go quiet. You feel it at night when everyone else is asleep and your mind just won't stop moving. You've tried to explain it to people around you. Maybe you've tried to explain it to yourself. But the words never quite capture it, do they? It's not sadness exactly. It's not fear exactly. It's not illness. It's not burnout, though it can feel like all of those things rolled into one. It's something deeper, something that lives beneath the surface of your everyday life, something that feels significant even when you can't name it. And here is what I want you to understand from the very beginning of this message. That feeling is not your enemy. That feeling is evidence. Evidence that God is working in a dimension of your life that your eyes cannot see yet. Evidence that the prayers you've been praying, the ones you whispered in the dark, the ones you cried in the car, the ones you gave up on and then came back to, those prayers are being answered. But the answer doesn't always look like what we expected. Sometimes the answer looks like a season of shifting, a season of discomfort, a season where everything feels like it's being rearranged from the inside out. And that is exactly where you are right now. Type, "I feel this," in the comments if this is already speaking to something real in your life. Let me explain what is actually happening inside you, because once you understand it, the fear loses its grip. You have been living under weight, not just the weight of your responsibilities, your bills, your relationships, though those are real, but a deeper weight, the kind that accumulates silently over years of staying strong when you wanted to fall apart. The kind that builds up when you swallow your pain because there's no time to process it. The kind that settles into your body, your nervous system, your way of seeing the world, until it starts to feel like just who you are. But it was never who you are. It was what you were carrying. And God has decided, not next year, not when life calms down, not when you feel more ready. He has decided now is the time to remove it. When something heavy is being pulled out of your life, your body feels the movement of that removal. Your emotions feel the shift. Your spirit feels the change and pressure. This is why everything feels unsettled. This is why you're more sensitive than usual. This is why certain things you used to tolerate now feel unbearable, and certain places you used to feel comfortable in now feel wrong. You are not becoming more difficult. You are becoming more discerning. You are not becoming more fragile. You are becoming more honest with yourself about what you can and cannot carry. And that kind of honesty is not weakness. It is one of the most powerful things a human being can develop. Type, "Remove what doesn't belong," if you are ready to let God take what has been weighing you down. Your body is one of the most honest things about you. It doesn't lie. It doesn't pretend. It doesn't perform strength when it's exhausted. It simply reflects what is happening beneath the surface of your life. And right now, your body is telling you a story that your mind hasn't fully caught up with yet. The fatigue that hits you in the middle of the day, even when you slept well, that is your body processing the release of old stress. Stress that was stored in places you didn't even know were holding it. Your muscles, your jaw, your chest, your gut. When that stress begins to leave, the body works to process it, and that process can feel like tiredness. It can feel like heaviness. It can feel like fog, but it is not sickness. It is cleansing. The sudden waves of emotion, the moments where you cry and you're not even sure why, or where a small thing triggers a response that feels too large for the situation. That is not instability. That is old pain that never had a chance to surface finally finding its way out. You buried things, many of them, Not because you were dishonest, but because you were surviving. You didn't have the capacity to feel everything in the moment it happened, so you stored it. You set it aside. You kept going, because that was the only option. But those buried things don't disappear. They wait. They wait until there is enough safety, enough strength, enough foundation in your life for them to finally come to the surface. And the fact that they are surfacing now means something powerful. It means God has built enough of a foundation in you that you can finally handle the release. It means you are stronger than you were when those wounds first happened. It means the healing is not beginning, the healing is completing. Type 1111 if you believe healing is taking place in you right now, even though you can't fully see it. There are patterns in your life that are quietly breaking right now. Patterns you've had for so long they feel like personality traits. Patterns of shrinking yourself to keep the peace. Patterns of saying yes when everything in you is screaming no. Patterns of choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar freedom, because at least the familiar pain is predictable. These patterns were never your design. They were your survival strategy. They developed because at some point in your life, they protected you. They helped you navigate environments that were unsafe, relationships that were unstable, circumstances that required you to make yourself smaller to get through. But the environments have changed. The circumstances have shifted, and those patterns that once protected you are now the very walls keeping your blessing out. God is dismantling them, not violently, not carelessly, but firmly and with purpose. And when long-standing patterns begin to break, it creates a kind of internal turbulence. You don't quite know how to respond to situations the old way anymore, but you haven't fully developed the new way yet. You feel in between, like you're standing in a doorway. You've left the old room, but you haven't fully entered the new one. That doorway space can feel incredibly vulnerable, but it is not a danger zone. It is a holy space. It is the space where transformation becomes real. Not just as a concept, not just as something you believe in theory, but as a lived experience in your body, in your choices, in your day-to-day life. You are standing in that doorway right now, and the only wrong move is to turn around and go back to the room you just left. Type, "I am not going back," if you are choosing today to move forward, even without all the answers. Now, here is the part that most people miss, because when we are in the middle of a difficult season, we tend to focus only on what we are losing and what we are feeling. But something extraordinary is also being installed in you during this time. Strength that cannot be faked. The kind of strength that only comes from having been tested and having remained. You are developing a resilience right now that you will carry for the rest of your life. There will come a day, sooner than you think, when someone else is going through exactly what you are going through now. And your story, your steadiness, your survival will be the thing that gives them permission to believe they can survive too. Clarity that cuts through noise. Your discernment is sharpening. You are beginning to read situations more accurately. You are beginning to sense when something is off before you have logical proof. You are beginning to recognize the difference between what God is calling you toward and what is simply comfortable. That clarity is a gift, and it is being refined in this very season. Peace that has a foundation. Not the surface peace that comes when circumstances are going well. Anyone can feel that. But a peace that holds even when things are uncertain. A peace that doesn't require every question to be answered before it shows up. That peace is being built in you right now, brick by brick, through every moment you choose to trust instead of panic. Capacity for more. God does not pour new wine into old wineskins. He does not place greater responsibility, greater blessing, or greater purpose onto a vessel that isn't prepared to carry it. The expansion you are feeling, the discomfort of being stretched, is God increasing your capacity. You are being made able to hold more peace, more joy, more influence, more of everything you have been believing Him for. Type, "Expand my capacity," if you are ready to be made ready for everything that's coming. Can I be honest with you about something? One of the hardest parts of this kind of transformation is that it is deeply personal. The people around you may not understand what you're going through. They may look at your life from the outside and see nothing unusual. They may wonder why you seem quieter, or more withdrawn, or less interested in the things that used to excite you. They may even become concerned, or frustrated because the version of you they knew seems to be shifting into someone they don't fully recognize yet. And that can make this season incredibly lonely. But here is the truth. The most sacred transformations happen in private. The caterpillar doesn't transform in public. It goes into a cocoon, a dark, quiet, enclosed space. And in that space, it completely dissolves before it reforms. If you cut open a cocoon in the middle of that process, what you would find doesn't look like a butterfly yet. It looks like a mess. It looks unrecognizable. It looks like something went terribly wrong, but nothing went wrong. The process is simply not finished. You are in the cocoon right now, and the people who can't see what you're becoming don't have access to the inside of what God is doing. They only see the outside. They only see the stillness. They only see what looks like a pause. But you can feel the movement. You can feel the reforming. You can feel that something is happening, even if you can't yet explain what it is. Trust what you feel over what others see. And if you feel alone in this process, know that God does not do his deepest work from a distance. He is in this with you, not watching from above, not waiting on the other side. In it, with you. Every confusing hour, every silent night, every moment where you questioned whether you had the strength to keep going. He was there then. He is here now. Type, I am not alone, because saying it matters, especially when it doesn't yet feel completely true.